All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man, Jay. Let's talk about a few things in this video. First, let's tackle the rumors of a Grand Sport. There could possibly be a Grand Sport. A lot of people really want them to be a Grand Sport from Chevy, just for namesake. Some people just really can't get over the fact that there might not be one. And if there is a Grand Sport, folks, it's going to be pricey. So I know you guys have all seen the leaks and everything. That, you know, there's a car riding around. It's not a Z06. It's not an ERay. No one really knows what it is because it's camouflage, but it has this body size, it has a wide body like this, but it has Z06 style wheels on it and has the rear end of this car. So there's a whole bunch of speculations and rumors out there, but, you know, we don't know until we actually see the car. So if there is a Grand Sport, folks, now let's just talk about pricing, because some people feel this car is overpriced. As soon as it dropped, some people said it's overpriced. A lot of people say it should have been called the Grand Sport and then it would have sold. I can't stress this enough. That is one of the silliest comments I've heard. So you won't buy this car because it's called the ERay, but you'll buy it because it's called the Grand Sport. Weird. Same car. I've actually read that comment. Someone saying, I wouldn't buy it. If it was called a Grand Sport, I'd buy it. That's freaking weird, folks. That's freaking weird, but hey, it is what it is. So if there is a Grand Sport, some people feel like this car is overpriced. This is a 25 ERay. If you're new to the channel, I had a 24 ERay as well. Went back to an ERay since I couldn't get a ZR1, you know, at the price I wanted. So that's that. Short story. However, if there is a Grand Sport, folks, what makes you think it's going to cost $80,000? They can't price the Grand Sport close to the Stingray. They can't do it. It just doesn't make any sense. Some people feel like, you know, they'll price the Grand Sport just a little bit higher than the Stingray and then give it this massive horsepower bump. You don't know Chevy if you think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. I'm thinking if there is a Grand Sport, it's probably going to start at probably 90. It has to, because you've got Stingrays, folks, you've got Stingrays that are very expensive as is, like the entry-level Stingrays. You got entry-level Stingrays that are expensive. Yeah. So you can't have a Grand Sport and have it cost $82,000. No, you got Stingrays that cost just as much as this car. I've seen them priced that way. MSRP on this car was $122 brand new, and I got it for $109 out the door. So that's that pricing. So I just feel like if there's going to be a Grand Sport, folks, that car is going to start at $90,000, and the performance on it has to be more than the Stingray, but it has to be less than this car and less than the Z06. So are they going to make a Grand Sport that has 550 horsepower? Possibly. It'll have the same 6.2 liter engine, but it'll just have a horsepower bump. Probably. That's how they have to do it. So they'll do whatever they need to do for cooling, heads. I don't know, whatever they're going to do to make it faster than the regular Stingray, coming in at 495 horsepower at its peak. So if you have a Grand Sport, it's going to be at least 525 horsepower or something like that, 540 horsepower. It has to be, because it has to be faster than the Stingray, and more likely it'll be a wide body. And those leaks that some people are showing online, that car has Z06 wheels and it has a wide body that has the rear end of a regular Stingray or ERay. We don't know what it's going to be right now, but you know, if it does turn out to be a Grand Sport, then it's a Grand Sport. But if you don't like the pricing of this car, you're not going to like the pricing of the Grand Sport. And you can't please everybody. You can't have what you want all the time. And I just don't think that Chevy's going to bring out a Grand Touring. If they do, great. But I just feel like it's going to get hit with the same scrutiny that this car got hit with. And, you know, as far as the pricing goes, oh, it's too close to the Z06. It's not worth it. It's this, that, and the other. I've seen so many people scrutinize this car, but then I look at what they're driving. If they have a Corvette, or, you know, they talk about what they paid for, and I'm thinking, let's just let them talk, because it's easy to go do a test drive on any car, and think you're gonna like it or dislike it. But ownership is the real test. And I know everybody can't just go out and buy everything they want, but I try to limit myself on what I talk about if I don't own it. That's how I live. So I own the Stingray, and this is a massive upgrade from the Stingray. Those are some of my top people that I talk to whenever I'm at shows. I was at a show this past weekend, and everybody who owned a Stingray wanted to know, man, or they said, you know what, this car is slept on. I wish I could get one. Simply put, this is a major upgrade from a regular Stingray. No matter how you slice it, 3LT, whatever you want to do to it, this is still better performing, better looking in every kind of way. I like the Stingrays because obviously you remember my 23 Red Mist, but you know, I just don't feel like it's any kind of comparison. Performance, whatever you want to call it. You can. A lot of people say the ERay has no top end. I'm like, okay, well, those people are not. You're just looking at specs, and you probably haven't raced an ERay yet as a Stingray owner. Whether you want to do it from a roll or you want to do it from a dig, you're going to have to be modified. That's how Z06s can beat this car. Stock for stock, the Z06 can only run it down on the top end. After that, but the fun to me is below 125 at most situations, because on the street, you're not gonna go, okay, we can even call it 150. The fun though is getting out there and getting to that quarter-mile mark or just that 125-mile mark. And I don't know why some people feel like this car falls off and loses power. And I know why, because they're looking at dynos from other people. They're looking at what people say online. But I can guarantee you folks, any Stingray that has rolled up on me didn't win, especially if they were stock. Even if some of them had headers or whatever, it just didn't win. And if you launch against the ERay, you're not gonna win. Especially if you're just a Stingray owner, you're not going to win. I've seen modified Stingrays run up on me, they didn't win. I've seen, and it doesn't have to be from a dig either, from a roll. The car has electric power at its disposal at any given moment. Just because you're not launching it from a stop doesn't mean you don't get that power. And to recharge the battery, it's just a quick click of a button and it goes back to 100 within a matter of a minute or so. That little button right there next to the auto start stop gets the car back to 100% on the battery quickly. And if you're driving in track mode, it continuously tries to keep the car at 100% at all times. Some people say, well, you can only do 3 laps in the ERay. Okay, great. After you do your 3 laps, let it charge up again and get right back at it. However, the Grand Sport conversation, I think is great. It's great conversation in the Corvette community. If there is a Grand Sport, it's gonna start it has to start at least 90. It has to. They can't have, because what that'll do is that'll piss off current Stingray owners. Imagine if they release a Grand Sport and it starts at $85,000 or $82,000. Stingray owners that have a 2LT or sometimes 1LT, depending on how you spec it, are going to be furious because you can get the better looking car. You get the wide body, which by far, folks, the wide bodies look much better than the regular Stingrays, period. Because I've seen plenty of Stingray owners put on wide body kits or lower their cars or do things to make it look like a Z06 on the front or just do things to make their car look better than what it does, which isn't a diss or anything like that. I'm just saying with this car and the Z06, you get the wide body. Simply put, you get the wide body. So if there is a Grand Sport, be prepared to complain about the price if you're a Stingray owner and you want it. Or just the people in the Corvette community that complain about everything, no matter what. You know, it's turning into like the Ford community, man. Those guys are gripers over there. They just complain about everything. But nonetheless, if there is a Grand Sport, I think it's going to be beautiful. It's obviously probably going to look like this car, but it'll probably have some different exclusive wheels. Yeah, I mean, I guess, because that leak that's out there looks like a Z06, actually. It doesn't look like an ERay because these wheels are exclusive to the ERay, but and that's the way it should be. It should be a closer look to the Z06 as far as the body style or the wheels or whatever. But other than that, I'm thinking probably if there is a Grand Sport, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to have the Z06 style wheel, but still, it's probably going to look exactly like this car and have the rear end of this car. You know, it's going to be nice. So I'm at almost 1,500 miles. I've been driving this car. I've had it for a little over a month now, and I'm excited about it. I really wish more people could have the experience of the ERay because, you know, doing a test drive and doing all these different things to it, it just doesn't give you the real appeal of it. I owned a Stingray for a year, folks, so I know what it's like to own a Stingray. It's a beautiful thing. It's really fast, but it definitely has its limitations. You have to modify it. You have to put heads, cams, whatever you want to do, which is fine. Some people say, well, I can take a base Stingray and put a blower on and do whatever. And you're absolutely right. You will be faster than this car. Hands down. Hands down. But there's a lot of people that are buying these cars, these Stingrays. I know Stingray owners that haven't done any modification to it, and they just look good. It looks great. They roll up at a car show. They fit right in just because the cars still look exotic. I like the way I ordered my 23 Stingray, and I ordered the so-called base wheels, which you guys know by now. I love the gray, like the gray nickel-looking wheels. I think it looks perfect as is. I felt no need to change it up. or do anything different to the car. I didn't even change the exhaust. I didn't even have the active exhaust on that thing. And I just felt it was beautiful as is. And then when you have a car like this, wow. Wow. I will say that I kind of wish I had if I would have gotten a convertible Stingray, I probably would not have gotten rid of it because I love the look. I mean, unless I just had to get an ERay, but you know, nonetheless, man, this ERay is the truth. It is such a misunderstood car. I was at a show recently, like I said, I think I told you I was at a show this past weekend, and you know, it was a lot of old heads there, older than me, that is, I should say, because people call me an old head. I am up in age, but still, I've accepted the fact that, you know, GM, they needed to go mid-engine, but some of these guys have not, man. They have not accepted the fact that GM had to go mid-engine. They had to do it. There's just no way they could compete after a while. The ZR1 C7 was a squirrely car, and it was documented by GM. So nonetheless, man, almost 1,500. I'm literally about to drive off, and by the time I get home, probably in the next 45 minutes or so, I'll probably be over 1,500 miles or right at 1,500 miles. And I'm excited about that. I've been driving this car. I have no intentions to let this one sit and rot in my garage like I did the other one. It literally was only driven on sunny days and the weekend, and I regret doing that to my ERay, 24 ERay and my 23 Stingray. This time around, I'm having fun. So also, let me tell you what I've done to my car so far, if you're new to the channel. I've lowered it 3/4 of an inch, even though it actually dropped more than that in the front. It dropped like 1 inch in the front and 3/4 in the rear. And I've put the front splitter on, and then I've also put on these rock guards here, the carbon fiber rock guards on the front and the rear. These are all easy bolt-on installations, and I actually do already have my front radiator grill guards. I just haven't put it on yet because I did a different style this time. I actually went with the kind that go through the front of the grill and not the interior. So and they're just a quick zip tie on and adhesive. Most people did adhesive though, or excuse me, zip tie, but I'm just not in a hurry to do it for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not in a rush to do it. But hope you guys enjoyed the update, man. The Grand Sport. Are you looking forward to a Grand Sport? If there is a Grand Sport, what should the price be? What do you think the price? What's a fair starting price? I think that car is going to start. I think it's going to start at 90,000. I mean, logically, they can't put it at 85 or anything close to the Stingray because it's going to make Stingray owners mad. The wide body look on these is the way to go. And then the ERay has exclusive wheels too. That's why I love it. I love it. I know somebody recently that just switched from a Stingray after 4 years, I think it was, to an ERay. Mind blown. And I didn't let him drive mine. He just bought it. And he happens to have the same color. I think I showed him in another one of my videos. But I got to tell you, he's never looking back. He can't go back to a Stingray. So, I mean, unfortunately, there is that negative vibe in the communities of cars where some people don't understand or just like to criticize or just like to talk just to talk, to hear themselves talk, to get views on YouTube. But owners' perspectives are always the best. Having owned the Stingray for a year, loved that car. Didn't drive it as much as I should have, but I did. And having owned the 24 ERay for a year, roughly 11 months, and then now I own this 25 ERay, best decision I could have made was going back to an ERay. Yeah, I know the Z06 has much better top end, but I'm having fun at all levels of speed with this car. It launches like crazy, and it is just one of the best Corvettes ever made. Yes, I said that. It is one of the best Corvettes ever made. And only owners can truly attest to this because they know. Some of the owners that I know with this car, they've had Stingrays, and some of them actually came from Z06s. So they know, they can tell you, hey, look, yeah, man, the ERay is underrated. It's underrated for some reason. And I think more so misunderstood. That's a better word for it. Being misunderstood is another way I would look at it.